The Little Prince. Antoine de Saint-Exupéry was a French writer and aviator who remains a significant figure in modern literature. Many of his works are based on his experiences as a pilot and The Little Prince. Le Petit Prince is his most famous work, loved worldwide. The Little Prince was published in 1943, while Saint-Exupéry was staying in the United States. The book revisits the meaning of life and human relationships through the pure perspective of a child, offering both philosophical and emotional messages. The story begins from the perspective of I, a pilot. As a child, I once drew a picture of a boa constrictor, swallowing an elephant and showed it to adults, but they only saw a simple hat. Disheartened by their lack of imagination, I gave up drawing and chose to live a realistic life. Later, as a pilot, I crash land in the Sahara Desert. Due to a mechanical failure, stranded in the desert with limited food and water, I meet a strange boy one night. This golden-haired boy, the Little Prince, suddenly appears and asks me to draw a sheep. After several failed attempts, I draw a simple box and say, "The sheep is inside?" To my surprise, the Little Prince accepts it joyfully. He is unlike any adult I have ever met. The Little Prince comes from a small asteroid B612. He cherishes a single rose on his planet, but feeling hurt by her prideful and self-centered words, he decides to leave. He then embarks on a journey to different planets, encountering various adults. On the first planet, he meets a king who believes he rules over everything, but merely issues orders that align with circumstances. The Little Prince realizes the king's understanding of reality is limited and leaves. The second planet is home to a vain man who only seeks praise and admiration. Finding no depth in their interaction, the Little Prince departs. On the third planet, he meets a drunkard who drinks to forget his shame. Yet his shame comes from drinking. This paradox saddens the Little Prince, prompting him to leave. The fourth planet belongs to a businessman who claims ownership of the stars, constantly counting and organizing numbers. However, the Little Prince realizes that the businessman does not truly own anything. He merely counts and records. On the fifth planet, he meets a lamplighter whose job was once reasonable. But as his planet rotates faster, he is now endlessly turning the lamp on and off. The Little Prince admires his dedication but moves on. The sixth planet is inhabited by a geographer who knows much from books, but has never explored firsthand. He advises the Little Prince to visit Earth, which leads to his arrival there. On Earth, the Little Prince meets a snake that tells him it can send him back home whenever he wishes. He then speaks with flowers and encounters a fox in the desert. The fox teaches him an essential lesson: what it means to be tamed. Through this, the Little Prince learns the value of relationships and love. The fox tells him, "What is essential is invisible to the eye," helping him understand that his rose is special because he is nurtured and cared for it. Continuing his journey, the Little Prince meets a railway switchman, a merchant, and finally the pilot. As time passes, the pilot forms a deep bond with the Little Prince, viewing the world through his eyes. However, the Little Prince realizes he must return to his planet and, in the desert, allows the snake to help him go back. The pilot sees the Little Prince's body vanish and is heartbroken, but he believes the boy has returned to his rose. Comforted by the thought, he gazes at the stars, knowing that his little friend is watching over him. The Little Prince may seem like a simple children's tale, but it carries profound philosophical messages about life and human relationships. The book contrasts the logical, structured world of adults with the innocent, curious perspective of a child, emphasizing that true value is found beyond what is visible. Through the concept of taming, the story highlights that love and relationships are not about possession, but about making one another special. Saint-Exupéry invites readers to rediscover the purity and love they may have forgotten. The Little Prince is a timeless story, offering new insights with every read.